Yeah, good evening, friends. So myself, Dr. U. Seshadri. I'm I have total 18 years of teaching experience. 18 years of teaching experience. So I am AWS certified trainer at associate level. So this AWS training, I'm providing the 40 days of the training. In this 40 days of the training, once you register the course, then every day you got the class recording videos, and then class material you got it. And at the end of the training, you got the AWS interview questions and answers I am providing. That is when you are attempting the industries, that is how they are asking the questions and the answers I am providing. And also at the end of the training, I am providing AWS dumps. That is nothing but at the end of the training, after completion of your preparation, then you may attempt the exam, global certification level. For that, how the questions are asking, the answers I am providing. That is, if you are applying the basic foundation level or associate level, how the questions will be asking, how we had to answer, all I had to provide around 800 pages I am providing. 800 pages I am providing. Fine. At the end of the training, I am providing each and every concept, each and every topic, the screenshot explanation I am providing. Screenshot explanation I am providing. Fine. Fine. So these 40 days of the training, what we had to cover. See, friends, the content I had to cover this 40 days of the training, how content I have to cover. That is first, the today's session also I'll start the basics of cloud computing. And Linux basics. And then I'll start the AWS introduction. Here in AWS introduction, I'll tell you what is the AWS global infrastructure. On AWS global infrastructure, how many regions are there, how many availability zones are there, we are discussing in the AWS introduction. Here we are focusing the AWS global infrastructure. And then I'll start with the hands-on session. That is, here in the introduction, I have to explain how we have to create your AWS free tier account also. Fine. Now, here I have to start with the compute service. Compute service is nothing but the EC2 service I had to explain. I'll explain in the compute service. I had to explain the services. That is how to launch and connect the Linux server, how to launch and connect the Windows server. I had to explain. And also I had to explain how to transfer files from local system to launched Linux server or the Windows server. And also I had to explain how your launched Linux server you make as web server, how your launched Windows server you make as web server. That's I had to explain. Using the bootstrap script, without using the bootstrap script, how launched Linux server you make as web server, how launched Windows server you make as web server. And also I had to explain the load balancer concept in this training program. Load balancer concept I had to explain. See, there are different types of the load balancers are there. AWS is supporting classic load balancer, application load balancer, network load balancer, and the gateway load balancers are there. And also I had to explain in this training program auto scaling concept. auto scaling concept. See, whenever the festival season will came, that is Dasara and Diwali, then the e-commerce, that is Flipkart and Amazon, they are providing the offers. That is the more number of users are using those websites, automatically the server's burden will be increased. So for that, how to add one more server. So when the after season will be over, festival season will be over, then the number of users are not using on that server, on that website, so that the CPU burden will be decreased. That is how to add the one more instance or one more CPU, how to remove the instance. That is adding or removing the instances. That is nothing but the auto scaling concept. How we have to implement the auto scaling concept, I have to explain. And also I explained the scale up and scale down feature, scale in and scale out, all the concepts I had to explain. And also I had to explain the snapshot and the AMI. AMI is nothing but how we are creating the custom Amazon mission images we are creating. And in this training program, I had to explain some small concepts, right? That is how we had to follow the metadata and concepts, all those things I had to explain here in the small concepts related to the EC2 service. And also in this training program, I concentrated, that is how we are creating the alarms, EC2 alarms, how we are creating the alarms. And in this training session, how we had to recover lost key pair, whenever the key pairs will be lost, how we had to recover the lost key pairs, I had to explain. And also many more concepts I had to explain regarding the this one, that is regarding this compute service. And also in this training program, I am concentrated, that is nothing but the data lifecycle management, how we are creating, how the snapshot will migrate from one region to another region. I had to explain in the snapshot concept. Fine. And also in this training program, see friends, what are the content I have to cover quickly, I have to explain by using this one. Already this is uploaded in the DURGASOFT also. That is, I had to cover introduction to cloud computing, and also I explain the basics of cloud computing. Whatever useful the Linux commands are there, those Linux commands I had to explain in this training program. Around 2 to 3 days I had to explain. And compute service, under the compute service, how we had to launch the Linux server, how to launch the Windows server, right? How we had to transfer the file from your laptop or desktop to the launched Linux server or the Windows server, I had to explain. How your launched Linux server you make as web server, how your launched Windows server you make as a web server without using Bootstrap script, with using Bootstrap script, how you launched Linux server make as a web server, right? And also how we had to create EC2 user for the Linux mission, how we are creating the placements group, right? The AWS is supporting the different types of the load balancers are supporting classic load balancer, application load balancer, and the network load balancer. I have to explain the load balancers concepts with hands-on. Auto scaling concepts also I have to explain comes under the compute service. Status check. That is why the status check it is showing the 2 by 2. If it is shows 1 by 2, what it indicates. If it is shows 0 by 2, what is the indication? That is the small concepts I had to cover in this compute service also. Scale up and scale down, scale in and scale out, right? I had to explain. How we had to create for the additional volume of disk, the snapshot we had to create it. How your created snapshot can copy from Mumbai region to some other region, right? And how we are implement the lifecycle management to the snapshot, how we are scheduling the snapshot. That is all those concepts we discussed in the snapshot. And also in the compute service, I had to cover how we had to create your custom Amazon mission images, how we had to create EC2 instance alarms we had to create it, right? Metadata and tags and the command line interfaces, how we had to recover the lost key pair. Whenever the key pairs are lost, then how we can recover it. All those concepts I had to cover in the compute service. In the compute service, I also covered the Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda service also I had to cover. Fine. And also another one more service is nothing but the storage service. In the storage service, I had to cover how to add for your launch Linux server additional 10 GB volume of data. For your Windows server, how we are adding, how we are attaching and detaching the additional volume of disk. That is I have to explain in the elastic block store. Elastic block store is nothing but the additional volume of disk. And also using the elastic file system, how we have to transfer from one Linux server to another Linux server files, how can you transfer? That's I have to explain in the elastic file system. And also in the storage, how we have to create the bucket, how we have to upload the objects, how we are deleting the objects, how we are applying the versioning feature, how we have to use the static web hosting in S3, and what are the different types of storage classes which are supported in the S3, right? I have to explain in the storage, that is in bucket I have to explain. How the replication is nothing but copying of object from one bucket to another bucket, the same objects which are copied to another bucket, but that the replication concept is used. AWS is supporting two types of replication. One is same region replication and cross region replication. Fine. And also some smaller concepts related to the S3 I have to cover: transfer acceleration, encryption, access control, bucket policies, right? I have to cover. See, and also I covered in this the S3 concept, that is see in the Prime videos or the Netflix, they are following the life cycle management. See the recently released movie, it is visible for all the subscribers. All the subscribers. After 5 years or 10 years, that movie cannot be visible. That object cannot be visible. The reason is they are applying the life cycle management. How to apply the life cycle management in the bucket, I have to explain in the S3 concept. And also I have to explain how we have to create the access logs, and the event notification with SNS concept I have to explain. That is nothing but whenever you are uploading the object to the bucket, you got the notification to your mail ID. Whenever you are deleting the object to the bucket, how you got the notification to your mail ID. That is nothing but the S3 event notification with SNS I have to explain. And also the event notification with SQS also I have to explain. And how we are apply the object locking, that's I have to explain in S3 object locking, right? So those are the content I have to cover in the storage services. And also in this training program, that is I explain the identity and access management, why you are using the identity and access management. Let us assume that we are joining the company. So on that industry, let us assume that there are 300 employees are there. The management cannot provide individually. They are not providing with their credit card or debit card. They are not creating the IEM use. They are not creating the your AWS accounts with their credit card or debit card. So instead of that, what they are doing? Suppose you are familiar in the compute service. They are given the permission. Let us assume that the 20 employees are there. They are working under the compute service. They can assign the compute service, the full permissions they are given. Suppose the 30 employees which are working under the IEM, identity and access management, they can give the permission, IEM permissions only for that 30 employees only. Like that, how we had to create the IEM users, how we had to attach the policies, how we are creating the groups, how we had to create the custom policies, how we are creating the password policies, right? How we had to apply the multi-factor authentication for your IEM user. Multi-factor authentication, why you are using nothing but for providing the additional security purpose, we are applying the multi-factor authentication. The multi-factor authentication we have to apply at root user, and also we have to apply at the IEM user. How we had to create IEM roles, how we are getting the IEM credential reports, all those concepts I had to cover here in identity and access management. And also after completion of the identity and access management, I had to cover how we had to create your own virtual private cloud. VPC stands for the virtual private cloud. How we had to create your own VPC, how we had to create the subnet, that is nothing but how you are creating the public subnet, private subnet, how you are creating the internet gateway, route table, right? On the public subnet, how we had to launch the web server. On private subnet, how to launch the database server, how to connect the database server using the Bayesian server, right? NAT gateway, network access control list, informal ports, reachability analyzer, VPC peering, that is from one VPC to another VPC, how we are establishing the connection. For that, I explain the VPC peering concept and the endpoint, flow logs, right? Those concepts I had to cover in the VPC concept. And also the analytics, that is Athena I had to explain. That is Athena using the normal concept I had to explain, and also using one case study also I had to explain Athena using Netflix data set. That the analytics purpose we are using the Athena. And also in Route 53, Route 53 is nothing but the domain names. Domain names. How we had to purchase the domain names using Route 53. There are different types of the routing policies which are supported. The 6 routing policies are there. 6 routing policies I have to explain with hands-on. Simple routing policy, latency routing policy, failover routing policy, weighted routing policy, geolocation routing policy, multi-value routing policy. And also explain those concepts also comes under the Route 53 concept. And how we had to connect database concepts, how we had to connect MySQL using the AWS RDS, how we had to create the DynamoDB tables. And also security options purpose, I had to cover these concepts. And application services point of view, I had to cover SNS, simple notification service, SQS, simple queue service, AWS calculator, event bridge, cloud formation, email service, service quota I have to cover. And those are nothing but the monitoring tools I have to cover. CloudWatch, logs, metrics, create billing alarms. Those are the monitoring tools I have to cover. Migration and transfer, for that I have to cover backup, data synchronization, migration on-premise, virtual machine to AWS, the AWS Snow, that is I have to cover the theory. Only this part I have to cover only the theory, right? And then AWS billing and the cost management, how we are creating the AWS budget, right? At the end of all those concepts I have covered, I have to cover these two related projects I have to cover. That is one project related to the VPC, EC2 and the RDS. One project I have to cover, and one more project is related to the S3 I have to cover. So those are the content I have to cover in my 40 days of the training. It may be taken 40 days or it may taken the 45 days approximately. It is taking the time. Fine, fine. See, in the previous batches I have completed approximately it is taking the 45 hours. It is taking the time. See that. So once you register the codes, then you got they are sending the drive link. On the drive link, every day DurgaSoft is sending the class recording videos. I am responsible to upload the class material. See that? Like that they are sending. See. AWS, this one. See friends, this is. So those are the recorded sessions. Every day they are uploaded. Around 44 sessions I am taken in previous 830 batch. 830 batch. Fine. So this is the class material from my side. I uploaded. See that every day class material I have to upload. Around how many concepts I have to cover is those many concepts I have to cover. So here it is represented 84. Means out of the 84, that is 75 concepts are with hands-on only. Whatever the related theory is there, I have to include a little bit the theory. Then everything I have to explain with hands-on only. I have to cover that many content I have to cover in AWS with hands-on. And also see friends, already I told that once you registered the course, then at the end of the training, what I am providing, at the end of the training, when you are attempting to the interviews, how the questions they're asking and the answers are also I am providing like that. See friends. Those are the interview questions I am providing. And also at the end of the training, I am providing the AWS dumps. That is when you are attempting the global certifications like foundational codes or the associate level, that is how the questions will be asking in previous, how we had to give the answers. I am providing the AWS dumps. And each and every topic, the screenshot explanation I am providing at the end of the training. This is once you register the course, then every day you are getting class recording videos and the class material. At the end of the training, you got it, the AWS dumps, and also every day, each and every topic, the screenshot explanation, AWS interview questions. Fine, fine. Now, friends, today's session, I had to explain the concept is, that is basics of cloud computing. Basics of cloud computing. What is cloud computing? What is cloud computing? What are the advantages of the cloud computing? What are the advantages of cloud computing? But then already I prepared the class material. Today's session I had to explain what are the basics of the cloud computing. What are the basics of the cloud computing? See friends, the cloud computing, how it is defined. The cloud computing, which is defined as storing and accessing of data and computing services over the internet connection. That is, if you want to store the data, if you want to access the data, and computing services, it can be done by using the internet connection. So the cloud computing, which is defined as for storing and accessing of data and computing services over the internet connection. And also here the cloud computing, I have mentioned the point, it does not store any data on your personal computer. We can't store any data on your computer. We have to store it, the data on the cloud environment. And cloud computing, it is providing on-demand availability of computing services. On-demand availability of computing services is nothing but you need the servers, it is providing the servers. You need the database, it is providing the databases. You need the storage, it can be provided as per your requirement, data storage can be provided. You want to use the networking, then it is providing. You want to use the Lambda service, it is providing. Like that, the cloud computing, it is providing on-demand availability of computing services, it is providing. That's why I have mentioned that the cloud computing, which is defined as storing and accessing of data and computing services using the internet connection. Using the internet connection. Sir, what is the main purpose of the cloud computing is the cloud computing, it gives access to data centers to many users. One data center is there. We are not connecting the 2-3 members. We can connect the data center. Many users are connected. Many users are connected. Right? With that data center, they are providing their services. See, what are the examples for the cloud computing? The cloud computing services examples are your AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM. Those are the examples for the cloud computing I am representing. See how the AWS will provide globally their services means with the help of their data centers. Their data centers are covered throughout global. With their data centers, they are providing their services. That's the point I have mentioned that the cloud computing, the main purpose is cloud computing, the main purpose of the cloud computing is to give access to data centers to many users. Many users. Users can access the data from the remote servers, right? So what we are understanding the cloud computing which is defined as storing, for storing the data and accessing the data. And if you want to use the computing services, like you need the servers, you need the databases, you need the storage, right? You need the Lambda service or you need some other things, then it is providing the compute services. How it is providing the compute services? Using the internet connection, it is providing the services. Sir, what are the examples of the cloud computing? Those are the examples I have mentioned. They are nothing but the comes under the public cloud. They are nothing but comes under the public cloud. Fine, fine. Now, in this session, what are the advantages of the cloud computing? Sir, you are using the cloud computing. What are the advantages of the cloud computing? What are the advantages of the cloud computing? See, the advantages of the cloud computing, I have mentioned one slide I have mentioned. See, friends, the main advantage is one is, see, if I am using my laptop, let us assume that the hard disk capacity is 500 GB. Hard disk capacity is 500 GB. Now, I need to upgrade 1 TB data, 1 TB data. Then simply what I am doing, I have to purchase 1 TB data and then I have to replace the existing hard disk to the new hard disk. New hard disk. Whereas if we are using the cloud environment, if you are using the cloud environment, it is providing unlimited storage capacity. Whatever as per your needs, the storage it is providing. Storage it is providing. You need the terabytes of data. You need the many more. You need the petabytes of data is also it is providing. That is nothing but the unlimited storage capacity it is providing. Unlimited storage capacity it is providing. That is one of the advantages using the cloud computing. See, friends, I have to mention the advantages of the cloud computing. Only few advantages here I am represented. Here I am represented. And see, the cloud computing, it is providing the many services. Many services. Let's assume that if we are creating your AWS account, it is providing all the services in your AWS account. In your AWS account. See, whatever the services they are providing, you no need to pay them. But if we are using that service, then you need to pay them. That is nothing but here in the cloud computing, if you are using the services or pay-per usage model, right? For example, if we are using one server with this configuration, so and so configuration. This many CPUs are required, this much RAM capacity is required, right? This the network performance is required. See, like that configuration server I need it, then we can use that one. Accordingly, you need to pay them to the provider. Whatever the service you are using, only for that service only you are paying the amount to the provider. Provider is nothing but whoever providing the service, that person is nothing but the provider. If we are using the AWS, AWS is the provider. If we are using the Azure, Azure is the provider. If we are using the Google Cloud is the provider. See, in the cloud computing, if you are using, the advantage is services are pay per usage model. Whatever the service you are using, only for that service you are paying the amount to the provider. The remaining services, you no need to pay the amount. You no need to pay the amount. That is. And one more advantage is using the cloud computing, it is providing the mobility also. Using the mobility also. And one more advantage I have mentioned that, see, if we are using the 100 systems are there, to maintain the 100 systems, if we are recruiting the employees, for that you are paying the salaries also. You are paying the salaries also. But if you are using the cloud environment, the maintenance cost is very, very, because you are not managing. You are not managed. Who has to manage? The provider has to manage. Provider has to maintain the servers. Provider has to maintain the storage. Provider has to use the provider has to provide the networking. Provider has to use the databases. That's why the maintenance cost is very, very low if we are using the cloud computing. Cloud computing. And also one more advantage here in this slide I have mentioned that it is providing the excellent accessibility. What is the meaning of the excellent accessibility? The cloud computing, it is providing their services 24/7, 365 days, it is providing the services. At any time, any place, any location, in any data center, it is providing their accessibility. That's why I am saying that only the internet connection is required. With the help of the internet connection, it can provide the services 24/7, 365 days, at any place, any location, it is providing their services. That is nothing but the excellent accessibility can be provided. That's one of the advantages using the cloud computing. And one more advantage here in this slide, I have mentioned that it is providing the improved collaboration. Sir, I want to collaborate my work with other users. Then we can also collaborate it using the cloud computing. Using the cloud computing. Sir, I need on that server the backup I need it. Then we have to take the backup facility is also provided in the cloud computing. Cloud computing. Whatever the data we are using on the cloud environment, it is providing the security also. It is providing the security also. So those are some of the advantages I have mentioned if we are using the cloud computing. If we are using the cloud computing. Fine. Fine. Next, in this session, I have to explain, sir, what are the different types of clouds are there? What are the different types of clouds are there? See, the cloud computing, it is providing the 4 types of clouds which are providing. The types of clouds, they are nothing but the deployment models. Deployment models are the types of clouds, all are the same terminology. All are the same terminology. See friends, what are the different deployment models are there? What are the different types of models are there? The types of models or the deployment all are the same terminology. See, those are the different types of clouds are there. Public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and the community cloud. Those are the 4 types of clouds are there. Those are the 4 types of clouds are there. See, if we are using public cloud, it is open to all. It is open to all for storing and accessing information by using internet connection. How it is providing the service in the public cloud is nothing but pay per usage mode. Whatever the service you are using, for that service only you need to pay the amount to the provider. That is, in public cloud, it is open to all to store and access the information via using the internet connection based on the pay per usage mode. See friends, in public cloud, computing resources means servers, networking, databases, etc. They are managed and operated by the cloud service provider, CSP. CSP is nothing but the cloud service provider. Whoever providing the service, that is nothing but the provider, cloud service provider. So in public cloud, computing resources are managed and operated by the cloud service provider. So tell me some of the example for the public cloud. AWS, IBM Smart Cloud Enterprise, Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine. Those are some of the examples for the public cloud. Some of the examples for the public cloud. And also the second type of the cloud, another type of the cloud is nothing but, or another deployment model is nothing but the private cloud. See friends, the name itself which is represented. Private cloud, we also know it as a internal cloud or the corporate cloud. It's also called it as a internal cloud or the corporate cloud. Here, it is used by organization to build and manage their own data centers internally or by using the third party. Sir, how it can deploy their services using the open source tools they are deploying their services. The open source tools they are using in the private cloud, the OpenStack and the Eucalyptus they are using. They are the open source tools they are using. Fine. That's about the private clouds. The private cloud, we also known as the other name, the internal cloud or the corporate cloud. Fine. Next, another type of the cloud is nothing but the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is nothing but the combination of these two, public cloud and the private cloud. Public cloud and the private cloud. We call it as a hybrid cloud. See, I'm saying that the hybrid cloud, which is providing partially secure. Why? Because the services which are running on the public cloud platform, whatever the services which are running on the public cloud platform can access by anyone. While the services which are running on the private cloud, only the organization employees, only the organization users are using that one. That's why the public cloud is not secure. The private cloud is providing more secure. That's why I'm saying that the hybrid cloud is providing partially secure, because the services which are running on the public cloud can access anyone, while the services which are running on the private cloud only can be accessed by organization users. So tell me, what are the examples comes under the hybrid cloud? Examples for the hybrid cloud is Google application sites, your Gmail, Google Apps, your Google Drive. Those are comes under the hybrid cloud. And if you are using Office 365, that also comes under the hybrid cloud. Fine. Next, the another type of the cloud, another deployment model is nothing but the community cloud. Community cloud is nothing but some group of organizations, they combine together, they form one cloud. Such type of cloud is nothing but the community cloud. The example is healthcare community cloud, education community cloud. Those are comes under the community cloud. So those are the four types of clouds are there: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and the community cloud. The types of clouds, we also call it as a deployment model, cloud deployment model, right? Fine, friends. So that explanation I am providing in those slides. Fine. Next, here in the basics of the cloud computing, I have to cover the concept is what are the cloud delivery models are there? What are the cloud delivery models are there? Cloud delivery models, it is providing three types of delivery models are there. Three types of delivery models are nothing but one is infrastructure as a service, second one is platform as a service, third one is software as a service. Now, let us will see that this diagram. Those are nothing but the cloud delivery models. This is one is infrastructure as a service, second one is platform as a service, third one is software as a service. Those are three delivery models are there. See, if we are using on-premises, everything we have to take care. Networking, you will take care. Storage, how much storage you need it to develop the particular application for storing data purpose, how much storage it is required, what type of servers you are using, what is the configuration of the servers you are using to develop your application. You will have to take care of the servers, and you will take care of the virtualization. See, while developing your platform, which type of the operating system you need to select it. That's you have to take care if you are using on-premises environment. And what are the middleware tools which are required to develop your application, which platform you are using, that is to develop your application, that is Java or Python or Ruby, some other programming, right? That is to develop your application. And finally, we can test it and we can deploy the application. That is, if you are using an on-premises environment, everything will taken care by you only. You only. That's why I have mentioned this color. You have to manage. You have to manage everything here in on-premises environment. On-premises environment. Suppose if we are using the cloud delivery model is the infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. See friends, this color is representing others will be managed. See, if you are using the infrastructure as a service, you no need to worry about the networking. You no need to worry about the storage. You no need to worry about the servers. You no need to worry about the virtualization. See, who has to manage? The others are managed. Others is nothing but whoever providing the service, that person has to manage. If you are using AWS, AWS will take care of networking, storage, servers, and the virtualization. The rest of the part here in infrastructure as a service, you have to take care. That is, you have to take care of the operating system, middleware, runtime, and the application. Those part we have to take care in infrastructure as a service. So tell me the example for the infrastructure as a service. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Those are examples where the infrastructure as a service. Fine. Sir, I am using the cloud delivery model, the platform as a service. If we are using platform as a service, up to this, you no need to worry. That is, others will be managed. Whoever providing the service, that person has to manage. Only you need to manage this part only. That is runtime and the application. The example is Salesforce.com. You no need to think about the networking. You no need to think about storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, and the middleware. Who will take care? The provider will take care. Only your part is runtime and the application in platform as a service. Fine. Sir, I am using the cloud delivery model, software as a service. This is the third delivery model. See, everything has to managed by others. Others. Sir, then what is your role? Your role is usage. Your part is usage. That is the software as a service. You no need to think about the networking. You no need to think about storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, and the application. Everything has to managed by the others. Whoever providing the service, that person has to manage in software as a service. So tell me what are the examples which are comes under the software as a service. See friends, present you are listening my online sessions. How we are listen my online sessions? Using Zoom app. The Zoom is comes under software as a service. You no need to think about which type of networking is used, how much storage it is used in the Zoom, right? To develop that, which type of the operating system they are using, what are the platform they are using, that is based by using which language they are implemented. You don't need to think about that one. Just your part is the usage. But then the organization is paying the amount. Durgasoft is paying the amount. Durgasoft is paying the amount. That is nothing but comes under software as a service. Everything will taken care by the provider. For usage of that one, they are paying the amount to the providers. Similarly, the GoToMeeting, Teams app, right? In education, they are using the ERP system. For the students, they are checking their attendance, right? All those things. That is, they are using only the service. They are not think about what type of networking they are using, how much storage it is providing, what the servers they are providing to develop that, which type of the operating system they are using, which softwares they are using, right? They are not thinking about that one. Just your part is usage, that is comes under software as a service. The examples are Zoom meeting, GoToMeeting, Teams app, right? Those are the comes under software as a service. So they are nothing but the cloud delivery models, sir. So the cloud computing, it is providing the three types of delivery models which are provided. The three types of delivery models are nothing but the three types of delivery models are nothing but those are the three types of delivery models. See, three types of delivery models are nothing but one is infrastructure as a service, second is platform as a service, third one is software as a service. Those are the three types of delivery models are there. How many types of how many types of clouds are there? there are four types of clouds are there. Types of clouds, we also call it as a deployment models. We also call it as a deployment models. The types of clouds are, the four types of clouds are there. One is public cloud. Second one is the private cloud. Third one is hybrid cloud. And the fourth one is community cloud. Community cloud. So those are the four types of clouds are there. Four types of clouds are there. Those are nothing but the types of clouds or deployment models. Deployment models. Those are the different types of clouds are there. What are those ones? Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. They are nothing but the cloud delivery models. Cloud delivery models. So those are the three types of delivery models are there. The three types of delivery models are nothing but one is the infrastructure as a service. Second is platform as a service. Platform as a service. Third one is software as a service. Software as a service. Those are nothing but the cloud delivery models are there. Cloud delivery models are there. Fine, fine, fine. So that's about the cloud computing basics today's session I have to explain. Now see friends, in this today's session, just I am introducing the AWS global infrastructure. So on tomorrow's session, I had to cover how we had to create your AWS account, your AWS free tier account, how we had to create. That's I had to explain on the tomorrow session. On tomorrow session, I had to explain how to launch and connect your Linux server also, how to launch and connect the Windows server also. See friends, the AWS is nothing but the Amazon Web Services. AWS is a cloud computing service. It is created by Amazon. It is created by Amazon. It's a collection of remote computing services that together make up a cloud computing platform. Here it is offered over the internet connection. The services can be provided using the internet connection. Without internet connection, they can't provide the services. They can't use those services also. See, to use the AWS, mandatory the internet connection is required. Similarly, if you are using Azure also, you need the mandatory the internet connection. Without internet connection, you can't use the services. Sir, when it is started? In 2006, it is started. See, Amazon, AWS, it is invested huge data centers throughout globally. Huge data centers are there throughout globally. See, how many reasons are there throughout globally? How it is providing their services? The AWS, it is globally means with their data centers. With their data centers, they are providing their services throughout globe. In AWS, they are located 33 geographic locations are there and 105 availability zones are there. 105 availability zones are there. Now, see friends, I am sending the link to your chat box, You have to copy and paste in your browsers. See friends, this diagram is showing the AWS global infrastructure. See, how many regions are there? Total 33 launched regions are there, each with multiple availability zones. Each region contains more availability zones. That point here it is mentioned that in the global infrastructure, AWS, total 33 launched regions, each with multiple availability zones are there. See, if you are taking the Mumbai region, the 3 availability zones are there. AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C. Like that, the regions, total globally 33 regions are there. Each region contains multiple availability zones. Total throughout worldwide, how many availability zones which are present now is 105 availability zones. 105 availability zones. I have to scroll down this AWS global infrastructure. Here it is mentioned that. See friends, AWS cloud, it spans 105 availability zones with 33 geographic regions. 33 geographic regions. With announced plans for 21. See, here it is mentioned 21 more availability zones coming. Upcoming, they are planning 21 availability zones. It may be more also. And 7 more AWS regions. On which regions they are planning to upgrade? The AWS regions is in Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Taiwan, and the European countries. They're planning to upgrade, they're planning to introduce the AWS regions. 7 more AWS regions they are planned. 21 availability zones in upcoming they are planned. So right now, how many regions are there throughout globally? 33 regions are there. Each region having multiple availability zones. How many availability zones throughout globally? 105 availability zones are there. Have to scroll down. Have to scroll down. This is providing the AWS global infrastructure. See friends, these green color circles which are representing, see that these green color circles which are representing the regions. These green color circles which are representing the regions. Already existed regions are there. Already existed regions are there. See friends, here the red colored circles which are there, they are nothing but the upcoming regions that is coming soon. Red colored circles which are representing coming soon. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This one also upcoming soon. Taiwan upcoming. Thailand upcoming. Malaysia upcoming. So the upcoming regions which are represented as a red color circle. Red color circle. So the green color which are represented already availability, already existed regions. Those are nothing but the existed regions. Existed regions which are represented as a green colored circle. So that's the AWS global infrastructure. See friends, if anyone have any questions regarding today's session, this is the day one demo session. Till I am taking Saturday and Sunday also, the demo sessions will be continued. From Monday onwards, they are changing the links. They are changing the links. Friends, if anyone have any questions regarding the codes and the training program, sir, what are the eligibility criteria to attend this one, right? If you have any questions, so you may contact these numbers also. Already I am sending. Say right now, you can ask me. You can ask me if anyone have any questions regarding this training program. Regarding fee and courses, fee and content, you can contact that number. Already I'll send the chat box also. The fee is 5,000 rupees for this AWS course. The duration is 40 to 45 days it is taking approximately. Fine. See, any questions regarding the students? Tomorrow onwards, I'll start with hands-on. How we have to create your AWS free tier account, how to launch and connect the Linux server, how to launch and connect the Windows server. Tomorrow session, I have to explain. If anyone have any questions regarding today's session, today I explain only the theory concepts. Tomorrow onwards, I have to explain with hands-on only. Hands-on only. Any questions, Abhishek? Abhishek. Sai Prasad?
No, sir.
Okay. Sai, okay. Abhishek? Sushil Kumar? Sushil Kumar? Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Actually, sir, you are saying that Linux web server we have to maintain. So, any prerequisite for that?
That is you want to for developer or you are applying for the administrator. See, while learning this course, no prerequisites will be required. No prerequisites will be required. I
No,
explain
because
the
no,
Linux basic commands also. Linux basic command also I have to explain. I have to explain 2 to 3 days. I explain the basics Linux commands.
okay, sir. Okay, because I am a C# developer, sir. So
Okay.
I think just how I can deploy my application there, how can for all these purposes I am learning it.
Yes, we had to learn the cloud, AWS cloud. Then you can apply the jobs with the C# with the AWS environment. Then you are getting more salary also. Sure,
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 no
sure.
doubt about it. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
okay. If you have the coding skills, then you may apply after completion of my training. Then you apply the developer jobs. Sir, I don't have the coding skills. I'm having a little bit the coding skills. I have the less knowledge on the coding skills. Then you may attempt the administrator jobs. You may apply the two levels, administrator level, or you may apply the developer level. To apply the jobs at the developer level, then you need the coding skills will be required. You apply the administrator level, then no need of the coding skills. No need of the coding skills. See, while attending my training, no coding skills will be required. I had to cover all the concepts one by one. This 40 to 45 days of the training I have to cover. Right, friends? See, remember, I take the demo sessions on Saturday and Sunday also. Tomorrow, the demo session is there. This is the day one demo session. Tomorrow is the day two demo session. Till I am taken the demo session Sunday also. If anyone have any questions regarding this training program, if no, then I'll end the session. Tomorrow we'll meet the same time. Okay. Thank you for attending this demo session. Thank you. I'll end the session.